I would like to welcome Salvatore Toscano, who is Chairman and Managing Director of Eko Agro Group, a portfolio company of ESGTI. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Maybe you can start by telling us, what do you consider the key growth drivers or needs in the sustainable agriculture sector today?
Well, what I'm saying, this is a big question, okay? In my opinion, there are several areas, such as the government agenda or the pressure of reducing the carbon emission, or the great growth technology, or the public opinion and changing and demanding from the consumer point of view. So not one of these should be considered the dominant key, in my opinion. Our company, the Eko Agro Group, analyzed really deeply this paradigm. We analyze and examine each one of these factors separately. And then we came to the point that probably only a system managed by an artificial intelligence technology was capable to creating the solution. So a K model that can be managed and suitable for all. That's why we create our own algorithm that is turned in a process skill to give a concrete and immediate answer to all this, let's say, big question. The concept of this solution was even to be available to be, let's say, used not only in agriculture sector. So because we see as an agriculture problem this main factor, but actually these problems are related to many others activity. So that's why we merge all our activity, and that's why we call our name, our company name, ESGTI.
Thank you. And maybe you can shed some light on the major growth constraints or risks within the sector.
Well, if we talk about the agriculture sector, in our opinion, again, it's not that the degradation of the natural resource or the scale of agricultural practice or inadequate support farmer successors or climatic unpredictable change or a consumer taste in food and let's say know-how is again the main let's say or the most important let's say in one side the most important to be considered or the less important to be take care of it. Okay, so we thought that all the agriculture and the agro industry needs to be redesigned, the entire model. Industry needs to be re-engineered. Many technology are coming out. Unfortunately, let's say they are all towards, to reducing emission or, to increase productivity and so on. Many acts has been taken by the public authority concerning the climate change and what this effect could be to agriculture. And even many, let's say, public aid came towards the farmers in order to let's say, contribute the growing of this sector. In our opinion, again, the main actor is the farmer. We can talk about any financial aid, we can talk about any technology we wish, we can talk about any political solution. The main problem is the farmer. Farmer age is around 62, 65 years old. So it's a successor of the farmers changing the mentality, culture in different areas. It's not the easy task. So everything contribute to a main factor and a main, let's say, solution. For us, we concentrate on if we identify the new figure of the new farmers, like the farmer 4.0 or whatever, the third millennium farmers, then we can build on, any financial aid, any technology, or any, great result for our environment and our production.
Thank you. That's very interesting. And which regulations and government initiatives do you think will have the largest impact on the further development of the sector?
Well, look, the European Green Deal, let's put it this way, has been read by everyone in this business, and is a beautiful design. If we read it, it's really it's going through many understandable issue. Any local, let's say, government is taking this issue seriously. Again, is everything can contribute. Okay, everybody can have a sense. The point is how we manage the system. If this is a system where everybody are aligned in, then really we can have effect as a, let's say, the European Green Deal, from some criticizer has been defined as the new big dream. It's like it's a beautiful statement, but almost impossible to reach. Nothing is impossible to reach, depending on how we want to organize our system. And again, we are back to the farmers. So, we have to deal with people with different culture, with different tradition, with different way to do their practice. So we cannot arrive over there and say, oh, now we have a totally new, different technology. Now, you should really change your millenary way to do things, because our drone tells you exactly how to do the work. So it is something that we had to work in terms of culture. If we create the culture, then the European Green Deal becomes feasible. Then any even financial institution is capable to understand better why we are investing in this sector instead of another sector.
Thank you. And in this context, maybe can you talk us through the technologies that Eko Agro Group focuses on?
Eko Agro Group, as I told you before, create this algorithm that we call TAP, Tech Agrarian Protocol, which obviously can be used, even in other, let's say, sectors. In this specific one, obviously, we name Tech Agro Protocol. And in this protocol, we design exactly the main point and the index system measure that we should use through all the process. When we say from the seed to the table, is not advertising butad, is a technical, scientific, mathematic way to counting exactly what's going on. So at the end of the line, we are able to say how much CO2 we have consumed for each specific product, which act we have taken in order to reduce this CO2. And most of the case is impossible to reduce to zero. So we create a system that compensates the CO2 with a regional certificate, that we are working now with the region of Tuscany, the specific case of Tuscany, in order to say we are in this region, we are consuming this CO2, but for each product, through our system of capturing carbonium or creating oxygen another way, we compensate each product. So when, as a buyer, I'm going to buy each produce, I know that my purchase is carbon-free. And besides that it's carbon-free, I'm capable to read anything that happened since I used the seed to when it came to the shelf.
Thank you. That's very insightful. And you've already touched upon that, but maybe you can elaborate a bit more on the role you think ESG holds within the sustainable agriculture sector today.
Yes, because it's the, you see, the Tech Agrarian Protocol is not just an algorithm capable to measure with the index indicated anyway by the United Nations agenda, for a better world. Applies the business model according to ESG parameters. So when we talk about environmental, we really define, how we, let's say, are according to the environmental, let's say, care. So we know how to treat our animal, our farmers, our land. So it's not in terms of using technology to destroy the environmental and just to create more production. No, it's to preserve our environment. Then when we talk about S of social, which many colleagues that are here have problems, is we had to interact completely with the local, let's say, chain. So creating a real value of circular economy with the local producer. In this way, we are capable to reach even the S. And obviously, when we're talking about governance, is all these things has been in accordance to the law and to the local agreement with the public authority. So everything has to, again, everyone has to contribute to the growing of this, let's say, criteria in a way that the benefit is not only for the investor or the producer or the farmer, but all the actors and the figure involved in this chain must receive a benefit in some way besides the financial benefit, even the environmental benefit or the quality of the produce we are going to consume.
Salvatore Toscano, Chairman and Managing Director of Eko Agro Group, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Okay.